Hey everybody, we're at the G3 conference again. This is Beau. I've got Pat here with Banner of Truth. We're going to show you some of the offerings they have, primarily their collection of Puritan works and John Owen. So Pat, if you could show us about these collections, and
Sure.
we're going to show you the individual editions right behind that.
Okay, sure. Well, we've been publishing Puritans for a long time now, and one of our most beloved series is the Puritan paperback series. We've taken probably what we believe to be the greatest of the Puritan writings out of their larger sets and made them available in very, very affordable paperback editions. Well, the only problem with that is people love them so much they would read them and reread them, and the paperback editions would fall apart. So people asked us, could you take those individual volumes and put them into a high quality set? We said, sure, we'll try our best. This is our offering to solve that problem. So
they look great too, man.
They're
really
very
good.
well produced. We're very happy with how they came out. This is the Puritan Classic Set. So there's a number of different volumes in this 10-volume set. I believe there's 15 titles within these 10 volumes, so you get a lot of books for the price. Really well-known books like Jeremiah Burroughs' Virtue of Christian Contentment, Bruised Reed by Richard Sibbes, Thomas Goodwin's A Godly Man's Picture. You'll all find them in here.
Cool.
And they're published in a style and a quality that will last for you, your children, and your children's children. So this is the Treasures of John Owen. So Owen is so prolific that he had to have his own set.
Absolutely.
So sometimes I call this the Owen set, and then this is the best of the rest.
Yeah.
But so all of the Owen books in the Puritan paperback series, so Mortification of Sin, Temptation, Spiritual Mindedness, The Spirit in the Church, a lot of classic Owen works. These are abridged, these are unabridged.
As well as one of my favorites, I've already done the review. If you haven't seen the review for the Valley of Vision, this is the genuine leather version. There's also a goatskin leather version. They're both the same leather. This one just has a paste down liner. The other has a art gilt with a full yap. It's really cool.
So I'll keep going with the Puritan Classics. So this is all of them now laid out so you can see them. So again, some of the greatest Puritan writings that the Lord has graced the church with. And you'll find in these deeper, sometimes a more difficult reading, but if you're hungry to learn deeply from the Lord, don't be intimidated. In fact, sometimes the Puritans are so direct and speak in such word pictures that they're easier to read than some modern authors. So don't hesitate. Don't settle for reading about the Puritans. Read the Puritan.
What's your favorite of all?
My favorite is Godly Man's Picture. That was the second Puritan paperback I ever read. And I was just struck immediately by the table of contents when I got into it. And I love the title. It's The Godly Man's Picture, Drawn with a Scripture Pencil, or Some Characteristic Marks of a Man Who is Going to Heaven.
Yeah, I want to point out too the quality. Look at these. Look at this
it's
beautiful
really
quality. This cloth over board. The paper is opaque. It's thick paper.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any show through. It's in a readable format. A good, maybe about a 8.5 to 9 point font. You got marginal room so that you can make notes.
Yeah.
Because everybody makes notes when you read the Puritans.
Yeah, with a pencil.
Absolutely.
Not a pen. I would never recommend that. But and it's you can see the Smythe sewing in there, so they're all sewn. They'll last they'll last forever. But it's just so full of how I could be godly in so many different areas. I was overwhelmed by it. Very helpful.
I know Gerhardus Voss. Is this Catherine Voss?
That's his wife. So this is published in the 1930s. Voss is known as the father of biblical theology and written so many deep, wonderful works on the scriptures. However, his wife really ends up outselling him like 20 to 1 or 30 to 1 because this child's story Bible was so beloved. It is accessible without being kiddie. Yeah. It is kind of stands in between your toddler kids books and then when your kids are ready to read the scripture for themselves. I call it family worship in a box.
That's
so
great.
After we finish our meal, people have different patterns of how they do family worship. There's many different options, but after dinner we sit down, we read a chapter or two. Kids love it. In fact, last 2 Sundays ago we read it with some guests at our home on the Lord's Day. And after we finished reading it, they're like, where can we get that? Can we? Absolutely. So I end up giving it away.
Another is the Institutes of Christian Religion. This right here changes lives.
Yeah.
If you're unaware of Reformed theology, John Calvin, Institutes of Christian Religion and this edition itself is beautiful. Great paper. Yeah. Mine is old.
We think the best of quality in content should be matched by the best of quality in production. So they are produced so that you can take them with you. You can read through them several times, it won't fall apart. The reason we call this Calvin's Essentials edition because it's probably Calvin at his most concise. He went through several editions of the Institute, starting at something that was no bigger than this and ending up with, and if it was this typesetting, it would be actually like this, like maybe 3 or 4 volumes. So this is his second French edition, and it's in English, a fresh English translation, so it reads like it was written the other day. And the reason we've done that is because, again, in Calvin's ministry, it's at him is most precise. He's covered all the loci of theology he's going to cover, but in the latter editions, the third and fourth edition, he's responding more to critics, so it just gets more exhaustive. This is the Puritan Classics. Originally was the Puritan paperback series, which we still have in print today. In fact, September of 2021 is the 60th anniversary of the beginning of the Puritan paperback series, when we started with A Lifting Up for the Downcast. And this is maybe one of my favorite, and many people's favorite Puritan paperbacks. Something like this, $8. Chad Van Dixhoorn's Confessing the Faith, my favorite study guide to the Westminster Confession. It's not only historically accurate and helpful with insight into what the Puritans were thinking, who took part in this great assembly, the Westminster Assembly, to come up with this great document that many Reformed Christians have used as a faithful summary, not above Scripture, not on par with Scripture, below Scripture, but a faithful summary of what the Scripture teaches.
One that really hits my heart is the Valley Vision. I've made videos about my developing a prayer journal and how much I use the Valley Vision as well, in addition to the prayer journal.
Yeah.
My audience knows how much I love the Valley Vision. Can you just talk a little bit more about what this edition means to the Banner of Truth, to the Christian body?
Far and away, it's our Banner's bestseller of all time. It's gone places that we never thought it would go. It started off quite small, but then, again, a lot of the books that we publish, they might not knock you off your socks at the first glance. You think, why would I want to read that? But as you get into the content, and the Lord uses it to work in your heart, then that change that takes place in you, makes you love the book. I would say 3/4 of the sales of this book are somebody else saying, "Hey, you need this on my bed. You got to read this."
Absolutely.
So our marketing department, we just we take a lot of vacation. We don't have to market it because other guys are marketing it for us. It is a helpful, deep. It's a prayer stretcher. So you read these prayers and you'll wonder, do I really pray?
Yeah.
Like, I don't pray like this. It's just so God-centered. So otherworldly, so heavenly minded, and I think we need that reminder. So very helpful.
Now, and the build quality on the newest editions, if you haven't seen my review, I'll link that in the description below. The build quality on these editions they're on another level. This is the genuine leather edition, comes with one ribbon. The goatskin edition comes with 2 ribbons and a full yap. So if you're nerdy like me and you got to have a full yap and all those cool things, then you can have that. They have that option for you in a really high quality. The paper's amazing. The font size is huge. The paper's really opaque, so you're not going to get distracted from a lot of show through. All of these prayers are impactful. You can open it anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Final one is The Pastor, His Call, Character, and Work by faculty and friends of Old Princeton. So writings on the ministry, the scriptural doctrine call of the ministry. What does the Bible say about who should be a minister? What are the characteristic marks of a minister? I think today, sadly, men who are training for the ministry or even feel called have such a different vision of what a minister is called to be than what the Scripture teaches. This brings us back to the Word. It is challenging. If more young men would read this, I think we'd have less burnout, because they would go in knowing, okay, not only is this a challenge, but my godliness, my character, my walk with Christ, this is what will define my ministry. This is what will make me helpful. Not my charisma, not my capability. If we would stop saying how we need leaders and talk more about how we need servants, we need to think differently. So this is just gold dust. I'm about halfway through it right now, and it's just my edition is just covered up with very helpful, like, Lord help me to be like this, Lord help me, very good stuff.
Thank you for showing me all this. Guys, if you want to see a more in-depth review of some of these, let me know in the comments below, and I'll get back in touch with Pat, and we'll go from there. But thank you, Pat,
thanks,
so much
Beau.
for your time.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
And for showing us all of these great works and all the great work you're doing.
Yeah.
This right here, you guys have got to understand, this is not necessary. You didn't have to do this. All these works fly off the shelves anyway. This was done for your benefit because people wanted a higher quality production of these amazing works that they cherish because they rip through them, because they read them so much. So just realize this is a great resource that you guys should probably look into. All right, guys, thank you again for watching. And as always, take care. God bless.